Alright, so now that we're all set up to go from the first video, and if you haven't watched the first video, you'll want to because the styles for this theme are actually in the appearance editor. I don't have one because I'm working on a multi-site, but that is where you'll get to a screen like this, and we've made a backup of this file, and then we're working on a working version of this file here on our desktop, just called Arrow.css. Very important to watch the first video so you know how to make a backup and you know where to find the CSS for Arrow so you can edit it and make it unique. The reason why we're doing this is because a lot of the styling isn't native to Divi, and so we had to do it through CSS. Alright, so in this video we're going to go over the headers and stuff. By headers I mean next video we'll be going over the top header here, how to change the hover color and this highlight button. But for this video we're going to talk about these different headers that we have here. We have this rhombus one here that we're calling it, which is also the same on this one. And then we have these headers, which are just the down part with the overlays and stuff. Okay, so you'll notice on the, let me silence my phone here. There we go. You'll notice in the home page on this first section, Elevate Your Company, Growth by Design, this section has a class of a big banner and then it also has a class of rhombus. And then I also have this main element padding top 150. And so I'll go over all that right now. So basically, if I take away, and I'm just going to right click on this and inspect it, and I'm going to bring in here that section. So right here, you see we got Divi Class, here's E3 section, big banner, and rhombus. If I go in here and I just change these two, alright. There we go. Big banners and just rhombus. You'll see that all that styling goes away and it just becomes a regular Divi, Divi deal that you can go in and style. So you're not married to this rhombus thing at all. Or if we, let me go ahead and have this hang on the side so I can easily get back to it. Or if I go in here, there's got to be an easier way to get in here and edit this. If I leave big banner there, okay, not much change. And then if I leave rhombus but change the big banner, then we get back our rhombus shape. So I would just, if you don't plan on using the rhombus, I would just get rid of the rhombus class here, and you should be good to go. Or you can leave it, because in this second row here, Growth by Design and the button, we have a class of rhombus row, and so we'll go ahead and look at this row here. So I'll go ahead and inspect it, and then I'll go up and find the row. Here we go. Here's ETB row, Growth by Design, class rhombus row. If I change that to rhombus, you'll see that it just ditches the color altogether there. So that's one way just to get rid of the color. But of course we don't want to do that. We want to change that color. So I'll go over that. I'll go over that right now here. So we'll go ahead and click on this, inspect it, and here we go. On the row, we see that here's our rhombus row background, and here are our colors. I can go in here. I can change these to different colors. That looks pretty nice. And maybe we'll do like a red on this one, like so. That looks pretty good. But you'll see that this is on style.css something 178. So at that end 178, if I go into our brackets file and I go down to 178, here I can see those linear gradient RGBA. These are the color values. RGBA is red, green, blue, and then the opacity for that. And so we can see here, you know, RGB opacity 0.6. So I can actually go into the opacity and change it. 0.88 looks pretty good. That looks pretty cool too. And then I could just go in here and copy this value, this first one here. I can copy it and go in, and I could highlight and change all the first ones here. Or a cool thing about Atom is you'll see that as I hover over this, it gives me that color. If I right click this and do quick edit, I can actually just go in, and I can also use this slider here to find a color combo that I want. This is one reason why I really like this. I'm going to go ahead and close this and undo that. The other thing I wanted to show you is these gradients, you have to have different prefixes for them. And so, yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I actually don't think you might not. I don't know if you need this anymore, this filter. So I probably, if you're going to change the colors here, I would probably just get rid of this one. But another thing you can do is you can click, and then you can command click in different spots, and we could take these values out and put in our new values. So I'll do the same thing here with the second line. Or let me see here. I need the 146, 21, 21. That's what I need. So I got to go to the end here. There we go. Copy that. Cursor there. Command click and click. I mean, or you can do them all individually and paste in my new value. And you'll see now when I hover, I got that new value. I can select all, copy, run over to my theme, select all, delete, paste it in, update, refresh my page. Oh, I probably have to shift refresh because it's on a, yep, it's caching it. And now you'll see if I shift refresh the platform page, it's going to change on that one too because it's using the same class. So that's how you change these colors here to what you want. I'm going to go ahead and undo that though. And again, I would just I would get rid of this line here, or maybe figure out from the gradient tool online how that works. I'm going to go try that real quick. I'm going to pause the video. Alright, so after a little bit of Googling, I came across this cssmatic.com/gradient generator. If you go there, we can pull out these items here and just have the start and end one. And they got some pre-built ones here. It's pretty nice. But I'll go ahead and, I think our first color was around here. And then we'll do that dark color there. I'll go ahead and select this first color and change my opacity to 88 like we had it. And then this color, okay, it remembered it, that's great. And then you'll see down here we got the filter, the Microsoft one here. We have the colors here that it needs for that. And I'm betting you could probably just copy all this. And I'm betting you can just go in here. You have to leave the clip path stuff, but this where it says gradient all the way down to right here, you could just paste in this new value. Select all, copy. Let me see if that works. Paste this in. Shift refresh. And yep, that worked too. So that might be a better way to do it, by using this And yeah, boy, that's pretty. 88's pretty hot. So you could go in and turn down that 88 quite a bit. But I'm going to undo this, select all, copy, save, and go ahead and cut back over, clear all this out, and repaste in to get back what I originally had. Oh, looks like I had to go back a little further. There we go. The nice thing is once you get it done, it's pretty much done and set. All right, there we go. So I'm back to how I started on that. That is how you fix this. And then this purple and this button is just like you'd think. And this button here, the purple is down right here in the button. Okay. The reason why, so you'll see that this background here has a parallax on it, and you'll notice that in this section here I have the parallax enabled, and then in the CSS I have this padding top. If I don't have this, let me cut that real quick and save it. If I don't have that and I'm using parallax on this section, I've noticed that sometimes it'll add in some spacing. So right now it's great, but as I go in, you'll see that it adds a little bit of spacing sometimes, like right there. And sometimes that goes away, sometimes it doesn't. So the easy way to do that, to fix that, is just to add in this on the main element, add in this padding top and leave it in there. But if you do not want the parallax, if for some reason you prefer non-parallax, then you don't have to have it in there at all. Sometimes I like parallax, sometimes I don't like it because it makes the image a little bigger, and so sometimes I prefer the non-parallax look. Like here, you get more of the image, and I think it looks just as nice. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back to how I had that though. But that was just to show you why I had that padding in there. When I had the padding here, it wasn't reading it for some reason. So let me go ahead and turn that parallax back on. True parallax. Yep, that's great. All right, a couple more things for this video here. You'll notice on this platform one we talked about, I'll go ahead and get rid of the home page here and go into my platform page. Talked about the Ken Burns header here for this growing. All you have to do for that is on this section, you just have to have this Anthem Ken Burns linear. Let me go ahead and cut that and press save, and you'll see that it'll not be there. I think the other requirement is, in order to use the Anthem Ken Burns, you have to have the Parallax CSS on. Which this looks cool without it. That looks pretty sweet. But with it, it just adds that subtle. I'll go ahead and paste it back in. The reason it's called Anthem Ken Burns is because that's where I first worked it up, was in Anthem. So I just brought that code over from Anthem into this theme so we could have it over here. But yeah, it's subtle, but I think it's a nice effect. And I've done a Ken Burns tutorial before. I believe it might be on the BeSuperfly website on how that is done. Yep, right here, how to add the Ken Burns effect. And this will go over the code more closely on how you can change the speed and things like that. This whole tutorial video does. And this was a pretty sweet tool. I actually really like this tool. I wonder if I can select both of these, go down to like 80 or 70. That's nice that it remembers and it looks like it updates the code. Actually, it looks like I have to set it. Okay, yeah, no, that's... Actually, in looking at this code, it's the first color here, it's leaving it at 1 as opposed to 0.78. So that's something to keep in mind too. You might have to change that to a 1. Okay, that's the first color, and you can see it's changing, or second, that's the second color, I guess. And if I select this one, yeah, it's just changing the, so I'm not, maybe I have to select up here. Yep, okay, there you go. Now you see it change. So down here is the color, and then up here is the opacity. So you'd want this to go up to 70, 80, and then this one too needs to go up to 80, and then both of them are going to say 80. All right, so that clears that up. I was wondering why that was so dark. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to go over the service page here. So let me go ahead and open that up, as well as the blog page to show you what's going on there. So the services page on the full width header, there's a class of rhombus. If I just cut this and save it, you'll notice that it's just going to ditch that bottom divider and be like a basic Divi thing. So if you don't like the down arrow pieces, no big deal. You can ditch that and just have this, which I think looks great. I'll go ahead and put this back in. And then you'll also see on the full width header here, in the custom CSS in the before, we're setting the background color for this feature. Right now it's this gray overlay. So if I inspect this, and I go to the full width header here, and click on before right there, there's our background color. So I can go in here and I can change this to, let's say this pink color, and crank this up a bit, like so. Then I would just copy this value here, these numbers, copy them, and then just replace them right here. So I'm actually going to retype this right underneath it, because it'll override the one above it, just to show you that this works. Yep, so there we go. Let me go ahead and inspect this, and you'll actually see the section. Here's the full width header. Or wait, sorry. Here's the full width header before, and there's our pink one that we just added. If I turn that off, it should go back to the gray one. If I turn that off, there's none. So the gray one here, by default, that's in here, this first one, and I'll just leave it. That's the gray color. That's pretty nice. So all you would do is just copy all this and paste it in another full width header to make it gray. In the same manner, this blog page here has the full width header. It also has the rhombus class. If you take that off, it's going to become straight line. And then on the full width header, it has, okay, all right, we must be using a different. Oh, okay, I see. Because it's a gradient, we're using it after I get to there. So here we have the background, the gradient colors like before. So then you would come over here and, so let's try this out. Let's do a color stop. Let's do like a lighter blue there. And then this color, let's change it to, that looks pretty good. Opacity on this color, I'm going to say 100. And then this one, I'm going to say like barely anything, because I really want to see this. And I'm just going to copy this text here and go over to the blog page. Actually, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and copy all this, and I'm just going to make a new file in brackets and paste that in there. That way I have it, right? And then I'm going to go copy this text, and then from the background on down, let me just go ahead and pull this down so we can see all of it. From the background on down, I can delete that, paste in this new text, save it, update, shift refresh so it loads it. So yeah, we see it's all the way solid here, and then it comes over and fades out. And if I actually made this one solid and copied the text and went back in, from the background on down here, I can, well, good grief. Let me go ahead and just spread this out again. Background on down. Now you can see the A's, they're all ones, because that just means the alpha opacity is 1. It's full on both sides. So this is going to be solid, like so. So you would want to go in here and just change each opacity of each one down to, down to 85 or 90 or whatever suits you. And then one last time, I know I'm being redundant, but I really wanted to show how that tool works. Background, paste in. And I guess I could just preview it right here. But yeah, that looks pretty nice. So I'm actually going to go back and just grab all this, copy it, and then just put that in here, save. Now we'll be back to where we started. Alright, so that was fun. In the next video, I'm going to go over this let me go ahead and open up the contact page here. Shows it a little better. I'm going to go over how to set this top color here on hover and the default color there, and then how to make this highlight button. But the hard part's over, figuring out how to use the headers, the various headers, and it looks like I need to go back into this and add the rhombus. Okay. But figuring out how to use these headers with the rhombus shapes and whatnot, and I'll get that fixed up, is key for understanding how to use this theme effectively. So I hope this video is a little longer, but I hope that helped clear all that up. All right, we'll see you in the next video.